What happens if you want to file an application for Italian citizenship by descent, but you are unable to do that because the Italian consulate, your local Italian consulate, is not giving you an appointment? You try every time, you try every day, every week, but there are no appointments available. What you can do, what are the solutions, and what is really important is that we have here some really case study, a real case study that we processed recently won about the lack of appointment problem with the Italian consulate. So how you can file, here are the solutions, how you can file your petition for Italian citizenship by descent through the court. This is Marco Bersani Solvi from the Bersani Law Office from Italy, and do not lose any more time. Let's start. As for a recent survey that we made on a YouTube channel, we ask you what you want to hear from us. So what argument you want us to touch, to focus on, to talk about. And a lot of people actually in the survey, they reply to us and says, we want to hear about new cases, new case studies about the process through the court because of the lack of appointment. So the fact that I can claim my Italian citizenship by descent, not through the consulate, but through the court system because I'm facing a problem with the local Italian consulate of a lack of appointment. I'm unable to book an appointment. The Italian consulate is not giving me an appointment for filing my petition for Italian citizenship by descent. This is actually a really well-known problem. It's since the COVID pandemic, actually, the Italian consulate had a problem with the issues with the booking system. So today, and still today, is literally impossible to have an appointment, to book an appointment with the your local Italian consulate. So if you are facing this problem, if you are not lucky enough to find one appointment available, so one slot available in the appointment system, well, today we will talk about the solution, what you can do, and how, with an analysis of the case studies that we process and we won, how you can file your petition in Italy through your local Italian immigration attorney. So today we start from an analysis, so a focus on three cases. We call it the lack of appointment cases, three cases that were processed through different courts in Italy, really recent cases, so we can share with you some updated information and to share with you how the court recently, still now, are handled this type of cases of the so-called lack of appointment case. Of course, before starting, it's really important to subscribe to the channel, to not forget to subscribe, because as we did recently, we sometimes make some posts and we share and we publish some surveys because we want to hear you. We want to know your opinion, we want to know your question, and we want to know what argument, what topics we need to touch. So we want to know what you are interested for. So that's important that you subscribe and you participate, to join the community on the YouTube channel, to join the community and to let us know what we need to talk about, basically. So this is really important to us because we try to cover a lot of argument, a lot of topics, but it's really important that we know, we want to hear you, so we know what you want we talk. So just to briefly understand, but we already talked about this argument in some past videos, just to briefly understand, if you are the first time to hear about this type of cases, you may be able to file an application for Italian citizenship by descent through the court system when you are not able, you are unable to book an appointment with the Italian consulate. Why? Because the Italian law, there's a general Italian law that regulates the administrative process in Italy through all the administration, so all the public offices like the Italian consulate, which is a government office. The Italian administrative law says that the Italian office has to guarantee a maximum wait time, a maximum processing time to finalize administrative process. So this is also valid for the Italian consulate. The Italian consulate has to, from one side, to guarantee that they accept your application to be decided, and they have to guarantee you that they have to take maximum 2 years to decide your case. So the problem of the lack of appointment is technically a violation about this ruling. Why? Because if you are unable to book an appointment, it means that you are not able to even file an application. It's a violation of your right to file a petition and a violation of the fact that you have the right to have your petition decided, approved or not approved. So that's why if you're facing the problem of lack of appointment, you can, by proving, of course, by showing evidence that you try to go to the consulate, but you were unable, you can claim, you can ask that your Italian citizenship by descent can be recognized by an Italian court. So this is what is happening. The first case was processed by the tribunal in Rome. So it was a case that was filed 1.5 years ago, but was really decided recently. As you know, and we always say to all clients that the process is very long. The process is very long, and right now, the court are pretty overwhelmed with cases. So you need to keep in mind that when you file an application, you cannot pretend that your application is decided immediately. You need to wait a few months minimum for your application to be registered and to have a date when we introduce your case to the judge. So you need to keep in mind that the main requirement, we always say that to all clients, the main requirement for the application is being patient. So this is the first case. The first case in Rome. Here we had a pretty big family, 6 family members. They had to apply for Italian citizenship by the descendant. They were supposed as living in the jurisdiction of the consulate in Miami, so in the United States. They were supposed to file an application there. They have a male line, so the starting ancestor, great-grandfather, grandfather, father, and applicants. So, it's a male line, so it's not a 1948 case, so they have to file the application through the Italian consulate. This was not possible. They provided some evidences that the Italian consulate in Miami were not able to give them an appointment, so they try every time, they try month by month to book an appointment. It was always impossible to find a slot. So what happened in the case? So we tried to book the appointment, they collect all the evidence about the no appointment situation, and we filed the petition. So the petition was direct to the tribunal, the Tribunale of Roma in this type of case, because at that time, of course, you were able to file the application only in Rome, and so the court basically recently made a decision, they approved the case. They approved the case, of course, by saying that there is a clear Italian heritage, so all the applicants prove with all the documentation, which was prepared in the proper way, the correct way. They have an Italian heritage, so the line is pretty clear, there are no interruptions, so they are technically able to claim the rights of Italian citizenship by descent, by iure sanguine. And then they said, yes, it's the problem with the consulates are a well-known problem, it's actually a violation of the rights. In particular, the court says that the fact that there is the no appointment situation with the local Italian consulate is a violation of the Article 2 of the Law 241 of 1990, the old law I was referring to at the beginning of the video, because all the procedures, so all the administrative procedure must be ended into certain terms. The certain terms is set by the law in 2 years, so they have to guarantee that the administrative process must start and end in maximum 2 years. So this is mandatory, but there are no exception about the principle. So here the judge says, yes, the applicant proves that they tried to even file the petition, but they were not able to file the petition, and so this is a clear violation of the right to file a petition and the right to have your case decided by the foreign authority, by the Italian consulate. And so the judge says yes, so the tribunal is approving the case, so we declare that all the list of the names are Italian citizens, and so there is also the court order. So the judge ordered all the Italian offices to proceed with all the bureaucracy related to the registration of citizenship, so to register the birth certificate and so on, to be formally, legally registered as Italian dual citizen. So this is what happened with the court in Rome very recently, because it's a decision that was made a few months ago. The second decision were related to another court. Now we move to the north of Italy and we refer specifically to the court, the tribunal in Torino. Here we have a similar case, but here we are not focusing on the United States. So all the applicants, a big family that were coming from the United Kingdom. So they were living in the neighborhood of the small village next to London. So here the Italian consulate they refer is the Italian consulate in London. And so in this case, what happened is basically the same. So we have a case where they prove that they have a clear Italian heritage. They have a case that should be processed by the Italian consulate because it's not a 1948 case, but an ordinary administrative case. But at the same time, it was like 2 years. They tried to have an appointment with the Italian consulate. They tried to call, they tried to send emails, they tried to book the appointment through the official booking system, the so-called website Prenotami, but it was impossible. Literally impossible. Every time there was a pop-up notification says there are no appointment available for filing your petition. And so in this situation, we filed the petition. We filed the petition in Torino, in the court of Torino, because the Italian ancestor was living in the Piedmont region, the Piemonte region, in a village that is considered into the jurisdiction of the immigration court of Torino. So we filed the case there, of course, providing at the same time as always the fact that they tried their best for getting the appointment with the Italian consulates, but it wasn't literally impossible. So we filed the case and we present the case. Here, in this case, the ministry came actually, which is technically our counterpart, but they didn't argue something in particular against the case. So they didn't say anything. They just referred to the fact that statistically they said, the Italian consulate right now are overwhelming cases, and so it's not actually a fault of the consulate, but this is legally speaking, this is irrelevant because what is important is what the law says. We don't care if the consulate is overwhelmed with cases. The law is clear, and the law says that they have to provide a decision of the case in maximum 2 years. So this is what, of course, what the judge focused on. And so the judge, at the same time, made a check on all the documentation and made a check of the fact that the clients provided that some evidences of the fact they tried to have an appointment. And so here the judge also always referred to the same Article 2 of the Law 241 of the year 1990, so the general administrative law that regulated the process. Also referring to the specific legislation, this says that we apply all the principles that are also set by the Article 3 or the law called DPR 362 of the year 1994. This is a specific decree that says the maximum 2 years for processing this type of application, the application for citizenship iuris sanguinis. So there is a clear term set by the law. Of course, the judge says, of course, the term is violated because clearly, if you're not even able to file an application, you're not even able to claim a right. It's a violation of your rights, called a denial of justice. So technically speaking, the court says, yes, I can proceed your case. I check all documents, everything is fine. All documents were collected in the correct way. And so the judge says, yes, I approve the case. And so I will recognize list of the names. I recognize them as Italian citizens, so I will order, also there is a court order, I will order all the administrative offices in Italy to register their citizenship by descent. So, as you clearly see in this case, and we have also another case that was actually, this is a pretty recent case because this case was published on November 2023, so it's really recent. As you understand, what is really important is right now, after the change that was made by the law, so the fact that they moved all the cases for iuris sanguinis from Rome, the court of Rome only, to distribute all the cases across the country, so across different tribunals that are still following what are the common interpretation of the Italian jurisdiction. So if you are facing a lack of appointment with the local Italian consulate, so you are even unable to book your appointment, well, you can ask, you have to collect the evidences of the no appointment situation, and you can file your petition through an Italian immigration attorney, at the local court, at the immigration court on where your ancestor was born. Here we can file your application, we can manage your application, and we can assist you without coming in Italy, because you have not to come in Italy for the process. We can handle everything until the end for your application for your dual Italian citizenship. As always, if you have some questions, something you want you to ask, some comments you can leave below, you can leave everything you want. Of course, we cannot do consultations here on the social media, so if you ask something particular or if you want an analysis of your case, we cannot reply here, but you need to contact us through the website. There is a specific contact form you can use, or even more, you can also book a consultation call, so we can have a video call, we can analyze your documents, I can review the documents, I can talk with you directly about everything, you can share with me all the questions you have. So this is for sure the best way to proceed. And as I said, do not forget to subscribe to the channel. It's very, very important that you subscribe to the channel, the YouTube channel, because we will post really new videos. Sometimes we also post some surveys, because as I said, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your opinion. We want to hear what argument, what topics you want we to touch, we to talk about. So it's really, really important that you join the community, be able to participate to the community, because we want to have a real conversation in some ways, also virtually, with you. We want to hear what are your questions. So the new videos that we will post will be according also to your request. That's also why it's very, very important. It's not a simple subscription, but it's a way to communicate and to share some important information to you. Thank you so much for your time, and see you on the next videos.